Welcome to From This Day Forward, a wedding industry podcast. My name's James Clarke, your host and wedding photographer behind Just James Weddings. This is a space for real conversations with couples, photographers and wedding suppliers, exploring what truly matters on a wedding day and how meaningful images can be created. Without further ado, let's jump on into the next episode. Hey, and welcome back to From This Day Forward, a wedding industry podcast hosted by me, James from Just James Weddings, and this is episode number 4. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode with Pat, and there's plenty to take away from it, hopefully. This week, I'm super excited to welcome Faye from Lara Belle Bridal, fresh from winning UK Wedding and Honeymoon Magazine Awards. Hopefully I've got that right. But yeah, warm welcome to Faye, and hopefully my production levels will be a lot better than last week and I can actually show you her face straight away. So welcome, Faye.
Hi. Thank you for allowing me on this podcast. It's super exciting.
No worries at all. And I think is this the first podcast you've done since Filtered Brides?
Actually, no, I have done one more. It's just not being produced yet. So that is with the guys who I just won the award with. So thank you for the shout out. I've done one with them. But yeah, no, this is really exciting. So lucky number 3. That's what it is. And you don't
have the comfort of me and a wedding dress today. So like you did.
To be fair, I was quite disappointed about that. I think that you should definitely have been sat on my sofa in a wedding dress. That would have got the podcast to go viral, if anything.
Yeah, I think so. It's like a catch-22, really. I kind of wish that I got to 100 followers, but at the same time, I'm quite glad I didn't, because it would have probably been a bit embarrassing. But yeah. Anyway, congratulations. Yeah. Congratulations on winning your award last week. Let's start talking about that, because I know it's massive for businesses, isn't it, winning awards? Although, funnily enough, I spoke to Pat last week and he's never entered an award, and you can be as equally as successful without any. But it is an amazing thing to accomplish. And yeah, you could talk about your experience, even just being at the Dorchester. Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, so they contacted me to say that somebody had nominated me towards the event and the award. So I was like, that in itself was a lovely experience to just be told that. It's quite a warming and thing to feel that somebody's taken the time to do that. And then when I saw it was at the Dorchester, I was like, okay, yes, this is definitely for me. So yeah, it was incredible to go up. I went up to an event the night before at a gorgeous vineyard called Leonardsley. Got to meet lots of other wedding industry kings and queens, which was just fantastic. And then off to the Dorchester for the awards a week ago on Thursday, which was just incredible. The Dorchester, wow, just wow. If you ever get the chance to go and experience it, do it. It was incredible. And the night that they hosted was fabulous. We had bands, we had acrobats, ballerinas, just the most incredible food, and then the awards themselves. So yeah, it was just brilliant from beginning to end, and to win just was the cherry on the top, really. So yeah, it was great. Thank you.
I think you said just before coming on, you were just glad to just be there for the evening, but actually to win, it's just crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I honestly wasn't expecting to win. So I was just soaking it all up. And I said to my partner who was with me, I said, I don't think I'm going to win, but you better film just in case. He was like, don't be silly. I was like, no, I don't think I am, but just in case. So it was great that I did say that, because I was, you never know, do you? So no, it was fantastic. Thank you. Yeah.
Let's talk about your bridal boutique. As I said, a lot of brides either freshly engaged or have even bought their wedding dresses. A lot of things that might kind of they might not even know about or have even thought about. So yeah, just talk about your boutique first, because I've been there a few times and it's stunning. And then I spoke to a bride that I've got booked, and funnily enough, we chatted on Instagram, didn't we, a couple of weeks ago, and it's like London buses. Haven't had anyone book a dress with you, and then 2 have come along at the same time. So it's crazy. So yeah, just talk about your boutique, how long you've been going, all that kind of stuff. And we'll just let the conversation flow from there, I think, before it
Yeah.
turns too interviewee.
No, that's fine. So I opened Lara Belle Bridal 5 years ago after a passion of wanting to be in bridal for years and years and years. So I've always been in the wedding industry. I used to be a venue coordinator and wedding planner for 15 years. So I've been in the industry and had the love for it for a very, very long time. But even then, it was always about the brides, what you're wearing, as soon as the partner wasn't around, finding everything out. So it's been a lifelong dream to do it. So when COVID hit, and it hit hospitalities and weddings and everything quite so drastically, I decided to really go for it and start living. And I was very lucky to have the support of my family and my dad behind me. And so Lara Belle was born, and I am honestly living my best life. You know, I just love what I do. I love everything about it. The passion is real. And I'm having the best time. So 5 years in May, I had my first bride through the door. And it's just been the best time. So one of the things I really wanted to do was bring dresses that had a slight difference down to the West Country, because that was one of the things that I really noticed over the years. And I love fashion, and I love the styling behind it. So that was one of the main things I wanted to do here, was to be able to give brides the opportunity to personalize the styling into their dress. So
You said before we run, you were a coordinator, right? In the wedding industry. So one of the things I want to try and help on this podcast is kind of like cross link between different suppliers. So actually, how's it gone from being a wedding coordinator into then owning your own like bridal boutique? And like, is there anything that you kind of like see, having been a coordinator, that you can like then help brides with when it comes to like planning dresses or a dress? Because we can talk about multiple dresses later.
No, I do think that it's had a massive influence. I just love everything to do with weddings. So at the beginning of every appointment I have with a bride, I want to know everything about their wedding. I want to know who they've got booked, what they've got booked, what their ideas are, because I just love everything about it. And it helps me also picture their day as a whole, to then see how they then see themselves within it. But I just love everything about it. I'm always like, okay, so what have you got in mind? And I can't help it, from the 15 years of doing it, I'm constantly like, I like wanting to give help and advice and say, have you thought about this? And quite a lot of brides now realize this, and they ask me a lot of questions about it, which I love as well, because sometimes you just need that external person to be able to help answer some questions that don't necessarily have not an ulterior motive, but they don't have a personal response to them. So I think people do come to me with a lot of questions, and as soon as I get onto it, it like just keeps flowing and flowing as well. So I do still use it a lot in here, which is great, giving advice where I can.
You're just looking for an invite next, aren't you? That's why you're doing all the help.
Oh, you've cottoned on to me now.
Take me to
absolutely. Yes, please. I'm sure she'll need help with her dress. Love it.
It's crazy, isn't it? Like, there's so many things, like you know, when the brides like so many things like planned out on the day, and then suddenly it comes to putting on the dress, and there's like a million buttons to do up. They just don't really factor that in, do they? You just want to be there.
There are on a lot of them. Yeah, there are on a lot of them. Thankfully, not a lot of mine do. But I'm like, I can come and help. If you're worried about the ribboning, I can do that. It's fine. Pay for me to come, I'll come. To be honest, depending on where they are, I'll probably pay for myself to go to a lot of the venues. Be more than happy. So yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it.
Oh, so you mentioned that your first bride came in the door like 5 years ago. Like, how did that actually feel for you? And then how did it actually feel for that bride? Because like, I can imagine, I wouldn't have a clue, but like being a like newly engaged bride to be, like how daunting it is going into like bridal boutiques. Like how did that feel for you, and then how do you like, do you ever see like really nervous brides come in to your boutique? Like, how does it feel?
Absolutely. Yeah, the thing is I think quite often what it is for them is it's such an overwhelming experience, because also there's a massive element of unknown. So I do try to do as much as I can to help brides understand a little bit before they get here, just to help them feel relaxed. There's also an element that brides are like, I don't think that I'll find anything that will look good on me, and so my immediate thing is, don't worry, we'll be fine. We're going to work through this. And also, just to keep that bride nice and calm, I think that's one of the biggest things that I need to do as well. So I've created a really calm environment.
Yeah, I love it.
So you walk in and you feel nice and calm, you feel at home, you feel comfortable. And when you can get that relaxation into it a little bit, you're much more open to then trying on the different styles and being a little bit more open-minded towards different things. If you come in and it's all like hyped up and angsty, you're not going to be able to allow that in. So that's one of the biggest things to do as well. So that first bride, I was nervous, as you can imagine. I was thinking, oh my God, imposter syndrome's kicking in. Should I be doing this? But what I do as well is try to build that communication up with a bride quite often before she gets here. And I had done that with that bride. We'd had quite a lot of communication over Instagram before she got here. So when she arrived, we felt like we knew each other. So there was an open communication path that before she got here, it was just like welcoming in a friend and say, excellent, come in, have a look, and see how. And she said yes, which was just even better. Even better. And not only was my first bride in the shop, she was also my first bride to actually get married. So it was really, really special, and she looked incredible. So nice. But just ever since, I still really look forward to every single appointment, because you don't know what's coming, and you know, there's different stylings, and quite often I think it's spoken about quite widely within the bridal world. What a lot of brides have in mind and what they end up with is often polar opposites. And that's fine, and that's allowed. So that's why one of the biggest things you need to stay is open-minded, as opposed to like pigeonholing yourself and thinking that I'm going to go down this route. Because when you start trying dresses on, you've almost got to allow yourself to grieve what you thought you were going to wear, to then be open to then trying different things on. So again, it's another process. So yeah, it's a minefield out there, James. You're lucky you don't have to worry about it.
You sell suits though, right?
No, unfortunately not. But it might be something I'd be open to in the future. But yeah.
Oh, do you ever find like brides overthink like dress buying then?
Yeah, I think women in general overthink anyway. I know that's a very blasé statement across the board, but I do think we do. And then when it comes to that, it's so important that I don't think you can help but overthink a little bit. So that's part of my job as a stylist as well, is to help like bring that back and hopefully calm that feeling down. So yeah.
Do you think like things like in Pinterest, you know, as soon as someone gets engaged, like, do you feel like they have the one in mind, and then they go in and then that maybe cause the overthinking? And like, how do you go about helping them like debunk that myth, or try not to think about Pinterest and throw out the window?
Yeah, I do. I say one thing I would say is, the second that anybody gets engaged, algorithms across the board, Instagram, Google, Pinterest, it's like they literally then just start sending you the world. And I think there is an element of that one dress that keeps popping up, but that again is algorithm based. If you like one, they will then send you 3,000 images of basically the same dress. So you do get, your algorithm pigeonholes you quite a lot on that. So that's always something to be aware of. But I think the other side of it is it shows you so much. I think the overwhelm comes from thinking, there's so much out there. There's so much available. do I need to try them all on? Do I need to, if I say yes, am I then going to miss something? Is something going to be released the week after? And I think that comes into it as well, which is, it's just it's so overwhelming because it's just throwing so much stuff at you. It's crazy.
It is indeed. Yeah, I did a photo shoot once for another bridal boutique up in Bristol, and I'm going back to what you said about brides coming in with like something in mind and then actually saying yes to something completely different, and that was completely true of the bride to be that I was like there photographing, obviously within the studio, and she was exactly the same thing. Like even her mum and mother-in-law that were there, they were like, yep, this one, blah blah blah, and then it was like crazy how like different the dress that she loved was. So yeah, you I think if that's one thing that brides can take away from this is just don't get pigeonholed, because even though I'm never gonna wear a wedding dress. I mean, it is 2026. You never know. It's crazy to see that even when I was there, it's just like, you can change your mind. You can try and change your mindset.
The thing is what a lot of it is that a bride will have this vision in place to what she thinks that she's going to wear, and then she puts it on. She looks how she thought she would look, but she doesn't feel anything. She doesn't feel excited. She doesn't feel like she'll spend the next however many months looking forward to putting it on. And it's quite a sad feeling, and it's one that you have to like then process, because they spend all this time going, this is going to be my dress, and then they put it on, they go, okay, I just don't feel anything. And then I think they then start panicking. Well, what if I'm not going to find anything? What if I'm not going to feel anything? Because people always talk about how do you feel in a dress, and you'll know when it's the right one. And it's really hard to explain that to somebody. So the way that I explain it is, when you're planning your wedding, up until you found your dress, you're planning your wedding like a bird's eye view. You can see your day happening, but you're not in it. So you can see your guests at your venue. You can see your photographer taking all the pictures, and you can see everybody there. But what you can't see is you there. And I fully believe that the difference will be when you try that dress on and you can feel it. All of a sudden you go from up here to being in your day, and then you can see yourself in your day. And that's the biggest moment, I feel. It's not like you see on the telly, it's like, oh my god, it's my dress. Yes, it is for some people, but I think it's because they've spent so long up here that it's just a really lovely feeling to go, oh my god, I can see my day planning out now. I can see it happening, and that is so lovely. And what I look for in girls in the dresses is their body language changes. They go from just trying on pretty dresses, and then all of a sudden the shoulders have gone back. They're a couple of inches taller. They're a couple of inches taller, and they just come out and they're like, okay. Okay. And what I also find, sometimes they come out of the changing room and they're like, this is it, I love it, I love this dress. Others, they go the quietest I've heard them. So wearing other dresses, they're like, oh, I'm not certain about this, and then all of a sudden they've gone tall but they've gone quiet, and you're like, oh, the contemplation, it's just hit.
You're thinking about
it. Oh, this could be my dress. So it's lovely.
Or it's a dress that they didn't think would be good, and then they're like, well, actually.
So honestly, it really is. It's 50-50. I think 50% of people end up within a version of what they were expecting, and 50 people are so far off from it. I do find it quite fascinating. Like, brides can say to me, I don't like sparkle, or I don't like simple, or anything like that, and then we go through the rails and we have a look through, and I'm like, you do realise that the only dresses you've gravitated to are all the ones with the sparkle that you didn't think that you liked. So it's exciting, and I love it when girls go for big dresses as well. when they really didn't think they'd want a big dress. I'm like, there's one day you can wear a big dress, go for it. Why not?
Are you ever okay with anyone like not leaving you having a dress? And do you ever like point them in a different direction? Or it's quite hard, isn't it, as a business, because you're like, you want them to walk out saying yes, but actually sometimes it might not be right. Same with me for photography. Like I can get a sense from either a phone call or whatever, like whether it's going to work or not. So yeah.
I do get, a little disappointed sometimes when I feel like I have found a bride her dress, but at the end of the day, I want a bride to find her dress, and sometimes it's not with me. But I am also very open and honest. So sometimes I've had an appointment, and at the end I've said, right, what we've done is we found out what you need, and this is where I think you can go and find it. Because I can't have a dress for everybody. I just can't, that's like, as you said, it's just not, you can't always get the fit, but I will always help and guide and say, well, I would go here. They've got this designer, they've got this dress, or, and because ultimately that's exactly what I want them to do, is to find their dream dress. And, fingers crossed it's with me, but it's not always going to be the case. So, yeah.
I find that with my work as well, because with photographers, you're there all day, right? And you want to have the person there that you can trust and also get on with, as well as the style fitting what you want as well. So yeah, as I would feel the same thing. I'd feel quite disappointed, but at the same time, you want what's best for all brides. Like I think it's really important for if there is a bride or any bride listening to this, is that we're not always going to push our businesses on you. It's finding. I do it. I always want what's best for a couple. So it's whether it's recommending other businesses that might be a better fit. It's something that I always try and do, but. Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
It is hard. And it is like for you as well, because they need, as a couple, they need to be totally comfortable with you there. You're there all day. If they have a niggle or there's a slight, that's not right, because you are there for so long. Yep. I'm one of the few parts of a wedding that I'm not there on the day. So, I can supply you the dress and everything, but on the day, those people are so important. Your hair, makeup, photographer, videographer, the person who's running your day, your venue coordinator or planner. If you aren't really comfortable and happy in their company, don't do it, because you're not going to be able to enjoy your day. You're not going to relax if you've got somebody in your company that you just really don't like. It's true. It is true. You've got to be able to wholeheartedly give full trust to that person. Like for you need to have that to say, I know their styling, I know their character, I really like having them in my company. You just get on. You go and do you. I'm going to do me, and then we're not worrying about it. If they have the slightest niggle, they'll be conscious all the time of what's happening, and that's not what it's about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dressed, is he?
The thing is people will always say, I can't imagine why people are so worried about having one dress, etc., etc. It is quite a main focal point.
Oh, there goes your earphone.
My earphone fell out.
Technology,
Technology is great, isn't it? Hey, here we go. It's so important because the day focuses around it.
Yep.
And I know that people are always going, oh, but the couple are the main focus within the day.
Yep.
So that bride needs to feel 100% confident in herself as well. Otherwise, she's not going to relax and enjoy the day either. So I've always loved clothes. I love putting outfits together and outfits that make me feel confident. I have a different outlook on that day because I'm feeling good about it. And obviously this is an even more elevated version of that. You literally need to feel the best you've ever felt. Yeah. And if you're in something that you're not that comfortable with, it's not the way. So like a bride could say to me in a dress, I love it, but I'm just like, but I really love it. I'm like, you're not, because you're covering yourself or you're
Yeah,
hiding
yeah,
yourself. And that's, I'm like, no, take it off. We'll find something else. Don't try and like something. We need for you to naturally love and like something.
yeah. That's true.
So yeah.
Let's talk about two dresses though, because like it's not ultimately important, is it? But I love it when a couple, or not really a couple, is it? Because the groom's never wearing a wedding dress, but when the bride like has something different to kind of change into, I love it because you see the bride come out in a second dress and the vibe just like goes up again. I feel on the dance floor. So like, how does that factor into what you do? Like when a bride comes in and wants two dresses or wants to go down that route.
It's a very controversial subject in
Is it?
A lot of subjects between mums and daughters, I
Ooh.
found. The thing is I think that a lot of people think it's quite a new thing, and in actual fact it's actually not a new thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
something that got forgotten for a while but was always there before. I If a bride wants to stay in her dress all day and all night, I'm like, brilliant. I
Yep.
stayed in mine until the last moment.
Yep.
However, I do feel that some looks that brides would like to go for in the day don't suit the evening, like
Mm-hmm.
an
Yeah.
off
Yeah.
the shoulder dress.
Mm-hmm.
They look incredible, but you know, you don't want to necessarily spend your night dancing like this. So I'm here for it. I think it's good. Bit like you said, I think it brings an extra energy into it.
Yep.
However, I do have a little bit of an opinion on when they should change, and
Uh-huh.
that's, I think, the difference for
Go on then.
me. I think I don't like it when they change too early.
Okay.
I think that it's a later evening energy add to the evening, not right at the beginning of the evening. I feel like if they've got additional guests
Yep.
coming, I feel like they should be in
Wait
their
for it.
main
Yeah.
dress.
Good idea. Yeah.
And then, have, like, traditionally, I'm not saying everybody's weddings, but traditionally, they have their first dance and then there's
Mm-hmm.
food and then it builds up. And I would say it's at that point that it builds up. I'm always like, then when you go off to the ladies, you can go off to your room, slip this dress off, use the facilities, and then slip the new one on, and then come back and be a bit more like, yeah, let's get this party started, because that's when the dancing's happening, and that's when I think the second dress comes in.
That dance move there, I mean, if you're watching on video, like reminds me of that like deodorant advert back in the day.
It's true, but like a lot of dresses, if they've got sleeves or off the shoulders,
Yeah.
they're quite restricted in the day, which is an incredible look and really gives the bride the look for the photos and the video and everything that they would like. But come the evening, they're not going to be up
Oh,
here,
they want their arms up there.
in the air.
Yeah, yeah.
They want to be able to like let loose and enjoy the evening. And I say, why at that point go for it? Because then you're not having to worry about trains or any of the rest of it, because you will make a dress work in the evening. You just will. But it's nice at the same time to not then have to worry about it as well. And if you decide not to wear a little evening dress, it doesn't matter. You can just stay in your dress until the last minute. But if you don't have one and you desperately want to change,
Yep.
then you just feel like it's become a bit of a drag, which is a shame. But I do love the extra energy that it brings in.
Yeah, I do. It photographs really well as well, especially when they're dancing in or like running in with a second dress. It's like it's so cool to see. Girls just go crazy. Boys are just like, what's happened? She's just changed the dress.
Yeah, but not even all the boys would even notice it.
No, they wouldn't. Or they just go, oh, you changed your dress. That's it.
Okay, nice. Move on.
Move on. Karen Lottie.
Yeah. The thing I do like as well is changing the look up for the evening if they don't even change their whole dress. I do like it when they change their own look up. So I like to speak to brides about, they might have, you're going to like completely glaze over here. They might have more daintier jewelry, much more neutral makeup in the day. They might have sleeves, whereas in the evening, I'm like, maybe add a necktie, take the more dainty jewelry off, put bigger jewelry on, maybe add a like a red or a dark lip color.
Yep.
So you've got a little bit of a change up in the evening. I think that can have the same effect if you're not changing your dress
Interesting.
as it would do, because it's like it's just a little bit of a twist on it as opposed to the full twist. So yeah, I think there's always ways.
I'm learning here then. So like, you wouldn't have a makeup artist sticking around all day though for that, would you? You'd be like, you'd be just your own stuff.
Just changing, yeah, if it's just changing your lipstick, that's easy enough to go and do. Yeah,
I'm saying this,
and then just flick out some earrings, and you know, if you go for something quite dainty and then go for something quite statement in the evening, it's going to give a different look, because in the day they might have had a veil on and look much more demure, whereas in the evening it's like, right, party vibes, let's get going type scenario. So little changes can make a big difference.
Speaking of veils, like, is there anything like out there in terms of like, do you have to go for a veil, or like, what other things can brides think about? Because I think if brides are thinking, I'm getting married, like traditionally you'd think veil, right? What other options are there out there? Like,
there are so many. Obviously, on the veils themselves, you've got from like nice short elbow length veils right down to the full 3-meter cathedrals. So you've got lots of different statements: 2-tier, single-tier, detailed, simple, all the rest of it. So there are so many different veils. You can really change it up to suit you. I think traditionally people automatically think of a long veil, but actually shorter modern veils are quite cute and edgy. They've got quite an edge to them, which is a bit of a difference. Neck scarves is a gorgeous addition.
Yeah, I love those.
Yeah, instead of a veil. What I call wings, so they almost like attach to the strap of the dress. So you've got that veil look, or a waterfall train. Again, kind of comes from the back. It's got that lovely look of a veil, but it's not coming from the hair. Lots of people are going for headbands over veils. So you've got a statement, but it's not full veil. So so many options. So many options.
Embroidered veils as well, like very personal. Like that's quite cool. I've seen recently.
Yeah, there's a local girl here, Rebecca Ann Designs. She does totally bespoke, personalized veils as well. It's lovely. It's got that real that personal touch where it might have a message from a family member who's not there anymore, or their favorite flowers, or their grand's favorite flowers, stuff like that. I just think it's lovely to bring those touches in as well. It's perfect.
You see that quite a bit with like wedding suits, don't you? Like brides either get something stitched on the inside, or a family member's passed away and they get something done on their sleeve or something like that. But yeah, I've been seeing it quite a bit more with dresses. Not just like embroidery, but also like people going like a bit off white as well, aren't they? Like, I don't know if you've seen it, like with like floral patterns or stuff like that. Have you seen or had much of that?
Well, I've not had much of it, if I'm honest. I've stayed more with the simpler designs, but I have seen lots of coloured dresses, floral dresses within the colour ranges. There are some absolutely stunning dresses out there. For one, I got married in orange, so
really?
I didn't traditionally get married in the big white dress either. So I am one of those brides, but I don't actually have any here in the boutique. They are all ivory. Yeah.
Beckham's got married in purple, isn't it? Is that right? Or is that their evening suits?
That was their evening suit. She actually got married in a really, really warm cream colour from memory, as opposed to the more brighter ivory that we see more so now. But then they changed to, was it purple and red?
I have no idea. I imagine red because he was Man United. But I know that's one of the talking points from their wedding, isn't it?
Yeah.
We weren't talking about the recent. We weren't talking about the recent Beckham wedding. But
Oh God, no! Don't go there.
Don't dance on your son. Don't. Imagine being a photographer and videographer from that wedding and just thinking, yes, I've got all this footage. I can make all this money.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. I'm big Beckham fans, so I definitely want to see that footage. I don't think it's been released yet, has it? Or has it?
I don't know if we ever will. Be like,
No, I
I
don't
feel like
think
something
so.
else out in the news at the moment that we'll never see. Anyway.
But the thing is there's so much AI now. You never know what's real or not. And that's a lot of the issues I think that
You
we're
reckon?
having for a lot of brides now as well, is because they bring in dresses or visions and you're like, it's not a real one, you know.
Really?
Yeah, which is such a shame because they're desperately searching for a look and it doesn't exist.
Do you think they use like ChatGPT to like put them like a picture of themselves but in a wedding dress? Have you ever? That would be quite crazy. But like,
I have seen that.
Interesting.
I have seen that. Yeah, where they've imported themselves into a dress into their day so that they could give themselves. Yeah, I have seen that. Yeah.
That must really throw them when they come into the shop, though.
Yeah, I think it is because I feel the issue that I have is the filtering behind the AI.
Yeah.
So I think that's more of the thing for me is they give themselves a vision to what they think that they should be looking like in a dress, and of course that's not what's realistic. Dresses can come in all different things. I know makeup artists for one are having that, and they're showing pictures and you're like, where that person doesn't exist and that makeup won't look like that because you haven't got 20 layers of filtering on.
Yeah.
And that I think is the unrealistic version to what they think that they should be. That's what worries me.
Crazy.
Especially in dresses, like they think that they should look a certain way in a dress, and I'm like, well, but that shape that you're showing me doesn't exist. And you might be able to stand and look like that, but you're certainly not going to be able to sit and eat a meal and listen to your speeches and get in and out of a car from a church and everything else as well. I think it's just a bit of a confusing message out there at times.
It is, yeah. AI.
Yeah.
I'm going to go.
Isn't it fun?
Yeah. Luckily, hopefully, it won't ever affect wedding photography, but you never know. I'm going to go back to a key point you made earlier, which I think is probably really quite important for brides. Feel over look. Like, I would never, like you already said, probably never going to wear a wedding dress, but do you feel like feel is more important than look of a dress? And at what points in the wedding day would you think, actually, yeah, that's more important to think about how you're feeling rather than what you look like?
Tough. I think that it's all about how you're feeling.
Yeah, the whole day.
Because if you don't feel amazing, you're not going to look amazing. If you feel amazing, you will just look better. You shine, you stand differently. So for me, it's always about how you're feeling. If you're feeling slightly restricted, slightly nervous, slightly anything, your body language will scream it louder than you will ever give yourself credit for it.
Yeah.
So if you feel incredible in a dress, you will shine better, you will photograph better, you will film better, you will look better. So for me, it is all about feeling. And I do say this to a lot of people as well about the main day. You need to make your day represent you as a couple.
Yep.
Not you turn up and feel like an imposter in a wedding that you feel that you should be giving people, but it's not got you in it at all. That is just the worst thing ever.
I find that with venues as well. Like, I find if it's a venue that a couple have picked that doesn't feel like them, then they feel like they have to play up to it. Whereas you go to some weddings and they've gone in one direction, like it just helps them feel more relaxed and can be more themselves. So it's interesting for you to say that it's probably the same like feeling that they have in a dress too. Yeah, interesting.
It's one of the biggest things I say to brides when they come in and they start talking about stuff. And I am a big advocate for the fact that actually I don't think that accept your real inner people. Don't talk about your wedding. Don't talk about it to people. Keep it to yourself.
Yep. Because
everybody has an opinion and they don't necessarily mean it maliciously or anything like that. But everyone has their different versions to what they think's something would be.
Parents.
Your perfect wedding day parents would be very different to my wedding day.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean that either of our wedding days wouldn't be incredible. They'd just be different because they'd be suiting each of us.
Yeah.
And the more you talk to people about what you're doing and everything else, it's when you get the, oh, okay. Now that, no verbal came out there, but that's more expressive than anything ever.
Yeah.
And then you'd go away and go, oh, okay, so maybe what I'm thinking isn't right. Even if you're one of the strongest characters, you can't help but that will affect you in some way.
Yep.
And what I want people to do is just go, no, this is our wedding day. It needs to represent us. If you have a festival style wedding over your traditional formal dinner,
yep,
because that suits you, that's exactly what you should do. If you're a festival style person and then all of a sudden you have a formal wedding, people are going to be turning up going, what? This isn't, are we in the right place?
Yeah.
You know, it's not, it's got to be your day that suits you in your style, be it your clothes, your food, your vibe, your atmosphere, your everything.
Yeah.
It has to represent you. Don't just do a Pinterest wedding because it looks great, but you're not comfortable at your own wedding. What is the point? You've just spent an awful lot of money on something that is wrong.
It's not you.
Just don't.
Yeah.
No. And okay, it might not suit auntie and uncle, whatever. Yep. That's not their thing. In the nicest possible way, it doesn't matter.
No.
It's not about them.
No.
It's not about them. It's about you. Just do you. You need to do you. And, you know, and don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're the only two people that count. And everyone else is coming along for the ride. Their opinions. Exactly. And their opinions, as lovely as they are, shouldn't make a difference to how you have your wedding day.
Crazy, isn't it?
Strong, opinionated, I know, but it's true.
I agree. Wedding days should all be about you as a couple. Mm-hmm. And with that in mind, though, actually, like, do you ever have brides that come like by themselves? Because like, because of the judging and stuff like that. Do you ever get that? And is that okay?
Oh God, 100% it's okay. If anything, I like it more.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're only trying to please one person, then, aren't you?
Well, I think the thing is it does take, it's really difficult, and it does go back to like what we said about the comments that I get quite often. Well, I wouldn't choose it, but it's not my dress. You're the one wearing it.
Yeah.
It's not okay. It's not okay to say that. It just wholeheartedly isn't, and it does happen a lot.
I can imagine.
I can get bridal parties and the bride completely on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
I can then also get bridal parties and the bride who aren't necessarily on the same page, chapter or book. They might not even be in the same library sometimes. Yep. And you just think you're never going to get anywhere at this point, because if you've got strong opinions, as much as they think they're not giving them, they are really loudly, and it's really difficult, and it takes an insanely strong person to say, I know this isn't for you, but I love it and I feel like I love it. It's hard. So when they do come on their own, they're making a decision for themselves, and I love that. I
think it's probably a tradition thing, isn't it?
Your people.
I think it's just like a tradition thing. Like, everyone feels like they have to go dress shopping with their mum, so she doesn't feel like she's left out or anything like that. Like, but it's cool to actually hear that it's okay to just come by yourself. Like,
it is absolutely okay. And what I have found as well is a lot of people, like you said, they bring the people that they think that they should bring. So they bring sometimes, for example, sister, mum, and nan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's lovely, but that's three very different generations with very different views to what they think that their bride should be in.
Yep.
That's not always the case, because sometimes nan's like, you're too covered up, like get you, show yourself off.
Mm-hmm.
But more often than not, they've got three very different versions of the bride in their own head.
Yep.
And like Nan wants them covered from here to here to here, and the bride and the sister aren't on the same page, and mum's a bit in the middle and wants a bit tradition and everything. Just
Massive
because
shoulders.
yeah, like, but just because they're related doesn't mean that they have the same vision or the same wants or the same ideas. And it's really difficult. So it is a case of needing to just know your people, who are going to be honest, but not at your expense, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's hard. But when a bride loves her dress, you can't help but love a bride in her dress, because if she's loving it, like we've spoken about, you are just different. You shine, you radiate, you are doing all of that. So on the day, everyone will love that dress. It might not have been what they would have chosen, but they'll love it because they'll know and they can see that the bride loves it. But for some reason in here, it's almost like it gives them an open forum to be a little bit cutting at times, and that's really hard to stand back and watch. But so yeah, it's a difficult one. So I'm all here for the confident bride who says, no, I just want to go on my own. I want to find the dress. Sometimes they do that and then they bring back mum and say, I found my dress, this is my dress, I wanted you to be here with me. That's different. But yeah, smaller entourages are definitely the way forward.
Nice. I was torn to which way to go next, really. I think it's quite interesting to maybe do like a quick fire question round. And then I want to talk a little bit about photography and wedding dresses, if that's cool.
Yes, absolutely.
So, it's not really a section I thought about. So, quick fire round. So, when it comes to strictly wedding dresses, all right? Head versus heart when it comes to picking a dress.
I want to say heart.
Heart. Interesting.
I'd say 70 heart, 30 head.
Trends versus timeless.
Timeless.
Timeless indeed. I would do the same thing.
I think a lot of the trends are very timeless though at the moment, which I'm loving.
Interesting. Do you actually? I mean, we're breaking the game up here, but do you feel there's a lot of things that are coming back into fashion in terms of wedding dresses that we talked about aunties or grandparents, but like, are there things that are from previous generations that are maybe making a return?
I think there's a lot of 90s coming back.
Is there?
Yeah, I do feel maybe it's the designs that I pick and the ones that I've got here. I think I've got particularly timeless and elegant dresses. So I don't feel like I've got many that you would look back on in years to come and go, God, that's screaming a 2026 bride, if you know what I mean. I feel like there's everything out there. So there are trends, but not so much, because I don't feel like we're going in and out. They're not changing as rapidly as what I think people would think that they are. I still feel like dresses that were 5 years ago are as relevant as they are now. That, you know, neck scarves I know is a trend that people are talking about now. I don't think they're going to go anywhere. I think they're now a staple.
Yeah, they're lovely.
I think they're so elegant. When they're done right, they are so elegant. So it might have been a trend that has brought them in, but I don't think that they're gonna go anywhere. I think one of the biggest trends is you just need to be you and feel great. And I love the fact that then there is everything, you know, there's fitted, there's ball gown, there's tulle, there's silks, there's everything available. And I don't think any of it is massively in to then be massively out. I just think it's all just becoming a bit of a staple. And I'm here for that. So yeah, so going back, timeless and elegant, absolutely. But I think that is where we're going with them.
Perfect.
I know celebrities every now and again bring in something a little bit crazy, but thankfully it doesn't seem to actually make it through to the actual bridal, which is good. Yeah,
interesting. No, it's a good point to raise, and you know, breaking up the game a little bit. But yeah, it's quite interesting that you see it with other parts of society where things have come back into play, like whether it's flares or other things like that, which make a comeback, or certain haircuts that make a comeback. But it's interesting to hear some things might be doing a sort of circling back round with wedding dresses too. But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah.
Right, okay. back to the game. When it comes to budgets, spend more or spend less?
I'm a slightly higher end budget,
you are, aren't you?
So
yeah.
I would say spend more.
Spend more.
I say spend what you need. Don't go crazy when you don't need to, but also at the same time, I know this sounds really stupid, but being really strict with your budget and not ending up with a dress you really, really want to save £200. That £200 is important, but in 2 years' time, you'll be really angry over that £200 that you didn't go for what you wanted. Yeah. So I say go with it, but stay sensible within it. But don't go outside of your means.
Yeah, I think it's important with any aspect of wedding planning, isn't it? Like, if you're thinking, well, that photographer's £200 less, I'll go with that person. But actually, it should be with someone that you feel like you can get on better with on the day. And whether that's £200 more, do it, because it's probably one of the biggest investments, isn't it? So exactly. Just do it. You've got to think long term, haven't you, with budgets? And I know it's hard. Like, things are way more expensive now, aren't they? But, think about the long term and looking back at your pictures in 10, 20, 30 years' time. Same with your dress.
Do you want to look back at your pictures?
And worry about having spent that. Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And go, that wasn't the dress I wanted. I saved 250 quid, so I went with this one instead. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
And what are you thinking? Did you go, oh, that was the dress I loved, I couldn't wait to wear it? No, you've just looked at it and gone, oh, I wish I hadn't, that wasn't the one I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. So talking about ones not wanting, very quick, just I don't know if it's in your list, have you got about time frames in there?
We're going to talk about time frames in terms of like when to come in, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, perfect.
This is why I was torn which direction to go, and we keep breaking up the game, but it's all good.
Sorry.
It's all good, because I didn't really know which way to go, and it's again just trying to keep it as conversational as possible, but probably failing on that point. But anyway, it happens, doesn't it? From your own point of view, where do you prefer to see your dresses seen in photos? Just barn or manor house, kind of? You're higher end, aren't you? So you're probably...
Any. I just love seeing my wedding dresses. I just love seeing them. And as long as I can tell that the bride is loving it, that's all that matters.
Perfect. In terms of photography style, candid or editorial? Where do you prefer to see your dresses? Your name.
I like both. I think they both have. Yeah, I do. I love the candid photos because I feel like it gives a real vision into their day.
Yep.
It really helps me visualize how they enjoyed their day. But the right or editorial, and I think that is the key to this. The right editorial photos are incredible.
Mm-hmm.
The old style boring ones, 100% no.
What kind of photos are you referring to?
The old school traditional where you just stand there for the group photos for half an hour and the bride and groom are exactly the same position, but the people stood either side of them changes.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to just see the same couple with different people.
Yeah.
You want to be able to see it differently. So editorial photos that have been thought about and how they've been placed and how they 100% have their time. It's just the old school. No, let's leave them
photo.
behind. I do love some of them. I think they're incredible, but they need to be thought about.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Cool. Timelines then.
Mm-hmm.
Stop the game, mainly because I run out of questions.
That's okay.
Timelines. When should, because I feel like now we've come out the engagement, what has been called like the engagement gap from COVID, and weddings. I mean, you've only been going for 5 years. I've been only going for 5 years too. But a lot of people in the industry seem to think that it's kind of like getting back to like normal levels in terms of like inquiries and the amount of weddings that are happening in the year. So like 2027 is kind of feeling like it's what a lot of other people are saying is returning to normal. So, when should a bride think about like coming in for like getting a dress?
Okay, so the best time I would say is around a year before.
Yep.
Whether that, and I say around because that could be up to 18 months before, it could be 10 months before.
Yep.
The ideal time is the 12 to 14, and that is because it gives them time to have the availability of all of the designers to them. As you get tighter to the day, certain designers will fall off from there because the time frames of getting the dresses in becomes a little bit tighter and a little bit too stressful. So some of my designers, I say they take up to 8 months to get delivered.
Yep.
So if you then put into that a good 2 months for alterations, a month for just stress-free time, and then a month, you know, pondering and looking, you're at a year. Like, you're easily
Already.
at a year. Now, I'm not saying that a designer might not be at 4 months, and that's absolutely fine, but you don't want to restrict yourself. So that's why the year works really well. I am selling dresses to 2027 summer brides. That's amazing. I do also have brides still coming in for September. Now, the September's not a problem, but they don't have as much available to them. So you will end up having to compromise in certain places with that. So yeah, so that, and obviously I do also have people who are a lot shorter than that. And again, I have availability and I have off the peg dresses. There are always ways and means. It just might not mean you have everything available to you.
Crazy, isn't it, how last minute some people leave everything. But I feel like one thing that brides don't think about as well, and you'll back this up, is alterations. And if you do like book a dress last minute, then you're leaving that also really last minute too, aren't you? So like that 12-14 month period like before your wedding day is crucial, because you want that dress to be right. And
it is.
Yeah.
You know, like I've got a girl here in Wellington who does alterations. She's absolutely incredible. I know that she is absolutely full to the brim until July, August. So you might come to me for a June wedding. I will be able to provide you with an off the peg dress that you love, but you might not find anybody to tweak it and make it perfect.
Yep.
So it is something that a lot of brides will need to keep in mind who are on the shorter time frame, that in actual fact, like I'd say to brides who do come to me, and I'm like, do you have anybody in mind that can do the alterations? Because if you don't have anybody, like I'm going to be a bit concerned about sending you a dress that needs alterations and you've not got anybody to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, on my website, there's a list of ladies. Ring around. Let's see if there is anybody available. Because if you can't get them done, what are you going to do across the board buying from anyone?
Yeah.
Because if you can't get it done, you can't get it done. It's difficult. It is difficult. Literally, brides come in and they say yes to a dress, and my email goes, brilliant. Here's my seamstresses. Get in someone's diary, please. Get in someone's diary. Because they're miracle workers, and you do need to have it done. As many people think that you don't, you do need to have it done, because this is the one outfit that you want to be perfect, not just slightly perfect. You want it to fit. You want to be able to do everything on your day without worrying about it. You want it to fit you like a dream. So even if it's only minimal alterations, you will still have some, be it a length of the skirt, because you don't want a dress that's too long for you. That will bug you more than you will ever think on the day. It needs to be great. So, you know, you will use them one way or another. You will use them.
Hey, my wife didn't even have a clue, like when she was planning, like she didn't even have a Scooby about alterations and stuff like that. So it's mad to think that we will know that a dress will need altered, but actually it's probably as big of a deal as getting the dress itself, right?
It is. It's also what people need to factor as far as budgets are concerned as well, because people do forget that side of it. But I have had the question before, so why aren't they just making it to my size when I'm ordering it from you? Now, the reason why is because we are ordering the dress 8 to 12 months before your wedding. You are not going to be exactly that size. Even if you're going to be close, you're not going to be exactly that size in 12 months' time. So you're paying for bespoke. So at that point, you'd be paying for bespoke measurements and cuts that far in advance that you'll then need to still go and get the alterations done at the end. So that's how we do it, which is, again, something that people don't know. So we order the closest dress size to that designer for you. So we order it on your largest size, so bust, waist and hips, because then we order it on the largest size, because then it gets taken in to fit the smallest bits within alterations. So there's no point paying for that service twice. Because wedding dresses, I know lots of people think that they're really expensive, and that they are, because they're being handmade by somebody wherever that country is. But you'd be paying a lot more for a bespoke dress at that point, because they're going to be doing different cuts, different patterns and everything. You just don't want to pay for that service twice. There's literally no point. And brides do lose weight leading up to their last few weeks before the wedding. So I can guarantee you that really 4 months before and 3 weeks before, you're going to be a little bit different as well, which is why they do it from your wedding date, not when your dress arrives.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, you mentioned budget actually a minute ago. Like, is there any like big wedding dress misconceptions at all in the industry or within brides?
What, with regards to budget?
Yeah.
There's levels of different price dresses across the board to meet everybody. You can buy a dress on ASOS, a wedding dress, and it will be gorgeous and it will be right for you. Or you can go really high end and you can get Vivienne Westwood and Berta, and we're talking tens of thousands, and they're incredible. And there is a level within that. You are getting what you pay for. But that's the same as what we go shopping on the high street. You've got higher end shops, and then you've got the more entry level shops. So there is everything available to everybody. So when I say, work out what is important to you, the dress might be important, but it might not be the most important thing. Whereas with other brides, it's like, no, the dress is the important thing. So therefore, the way that you budget towards it and what isn't, and what you put towards it is different. It doesn't mean that anybody's right over or wrong dependent in it. It's just you, and you know yourself better. I've spent lots and lots of time looking at different designers and how they fit and everything to ensure that I feel that I've got the best designers for the best quality within the price range of which I allocate. I have had other designers and they look beautiful, but I don't think that they feel as good as the designers that I've now got. So there's a lot of thought and process that does go into that, to be able to provide the best I can within the budgets that I have my brides coming in for. So you do, in a way, you get what you pay for, and the level of which you want to go for, but you can literally spend as little as much as you like.
And same with anything, isn't it, in the industry? But do you ever ask couples what their budget is before they come in? Oh, sorry, not couples. I keep saying couples because a groom is never going to wear this.
Still working. I do have two brides coming in as well, which is lovely. Yeah. So when I do have two ladies getting married, I love that, and I say, you should both come in, obviously not together, but you should both come in, because I know what the styling is of one half of the couple, which is great, because it means I can help you. You don't necessarily, not everybody worries about it, but almost complement each other. God forbid, you imagine if they turned up in the same dress, so far, so across the board, wildly apart that so it's lovely. But sorry, I've forgotten what the question was.
Probably me too.
Oh, about the lady coming in, do I ask for the budget? Yes, I do. And I'm very, very strict on it. And it's not because I give more attention to somebody who's got a higher budget or anything like that. It's actually the opposite. It's because I want to be very strict. If they have a budget, I want to keep them within it. if they've told me that their budget is X, I'm not going to put them in a dress that's Y, because it's just not fair. And go, oh yeah, that's a grand over your budget, but now you love it. So what are you going to do? It just doesn't work.
Pressure,
like
isn't
that.
it?
So yeah. So I send all my brides I don't ask on booking, although I am very transparent. So all of my dresses are online, and the prices of all of my dresses are online, because I feel it's important to know what you're looking at. There's nothing more annoying than going, oh my God, I love that, and then finding you just can't justify it, or you can't afford it. So I have all of my prices online, so brides can see that. But as soon as they come into the shop, in their pre-form, I say, what's your happy investment level for your dress? And they say, they might say around X or Y, or they might say, I can't go over B. And that's absolutely fine. We've got loads of dresses. I'll keep you within it. So then when they start trying dresses on, I don't tell them what the price of the dresses are, because I want them to look at the dress, not the price of the dress. But they can be confident that I've kept them within their budget.
That's good.
Yeah, because I won't ever do that. And if they look at a dress that's on the rails and they're really getting they're going, actually I really like this one, I'm like, just to let you know, that dress is Y. And then they can make that decision whether they feel at that point that it's worth trying on or not. But other than that, I don't tell them what the price is, as long as it's within their budget.
And then they buy the dress for $1,000 more, and then they go, sorry, fiance.
Yeah, exactly. I have had brides going, so if I just didn't invite all those cousins that I really didn't want to invite, that will I can just move the budget over to here, and that will be fine.
Yeah, all those meals you can
they
forget
didn't
about.
even know they were on the list at that point. Just invite them in the evening. It's fine.
Is there any surprises that brides have post wedding in regards to their dresses? In terms of, I mean, I always find this, a lot of dresses just don't stay clean, do they, at the end of the day? But is there any things that you've had back afterwards from a bride that's gone, oh God, that was a surprise, I didn't think that would happen, or whatever?
I haven't. That's an interesting question. I'm not going to keep an eye out. No, I haven't. But one of the things I do say is, if your wedding dress is clean at the end of the day, you haven't allowed yourself to enjoy your day, because you've clearly been too conscious about what you're doing in the dress.
Yeah.
I love it when I get a photo. I had a photo from a bride a couple of years ago, and she said, look at this. And she sent me a photo of her dress, and it literally looked ombre.
Yeah.
From brown to ivory up the top, because they got married in a marquee in on their farm, and her dress was absolutely filthy. And she did say, how am I going to clean it? And I was like, between you and I just whack it in a very low, very delicate wash. And she did, and it came out and it was spotless.
That's quite a cool piece of advice, though.
Absolutely spotless. No, I'm not giving it to anybody, because it's not the same with all dresses. It was her dress. It had no beading. It had nothing like that I needed to worry about.
Yeah.
And I said, honestly, just whack it in on a really light wash and see what happens. But yeah, and if there's a lot of dresses you definitely can't do that with, but there are some dresses that you can, and it came out absolutely spotless.
No, I do find with brides, most of the time when it gets towards the end of the day, they just don't care how messy or clean their dress is. But it's one of those things I'd imagine that brides are always conscious of, aren't they? But their mindset just shifts all the time when it comes to mainly after a few drinks.
Yeah, possibly. But then I say that to brides anyway, because they get really conscious about different things. And I'm like, but an hour into wearing this dress will become like a second skin to you. You won't be as conscious about different things in it. You are just going to, it might feel a little bit big when you first put it on. Within 20 minutes, it's just going to feel normal, because it's just what it does. But you definitely, going back to the stains wise, I definitely recommend for brides, because they do panic about different things, are the fabric stain remover wipes and the fabric stain remover pen. Just get them, because God forbid something happens. Honestly, I have seen those things work magic miracles. Definitely get that into your box in the morning. And the same with numbing spray for your feet, ibuprofen for your feet. And safety pins. This is what you need. And whatever you do, however much your feet hurt, do not take your shoes off.
And a crochet hook as well. That's another thing if you've got buttons.
If you've got lots of buttons, I would say yes.
People forget about that.
Yeah, but a good nail can do the same. But yeah, a crochet hook, or even, you got hairdressers, you got those little pins that they use in the hair, they can do
they work as well.
the same. Yeah.
It's quite interesting you mentioned the stain pen, because even I've bought one in the last few days, mainly been influenced on Instagram. But I'm just like, this is one thing that, a bride might not even think about. Gets red wine or a bit of mud, and it's just something quite helpful, I think, from my point of view. If I've got it in my bag and they don't, then it's quite nice to just be able to provide it. So it's quite interesting to. Yeah.
The biggest thing is makeup, to be honest.
Is it? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cuddling,
because it's
hugging and whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's exactly that. And also people, they get really worried, and they see on Instagram about brides putting the dress on and the person who's dressing them is wearing gloves.
Yep.
Now, this is a bit of a controversial thing, because I say you can't do anything up with gloves on.
No.
Just go and wash your hands, just double cleanse your hands, wash your hands, thinking that you thoroughly washed them, and then wash them again. That's all you need to do, because you try and grab hold of tiny little hooks and eyes and a tiny little zip and doing the buttons with gloves on. It's almost impossible. It looks great for the gram and social media and all the rest of it. But honestly, it will drive you nuts, because you won't be able to do anything. Just the bride wash her hands, because she'll be holding the dress while she's doing it up, like she's going to be holding it up. And the person doing it, just go and wash your hands thoroughly. It's all you need to do.
Yep.
And then just don't go, oh my God, and then touch your legs, because that's what happens.
Here's a strange one as well for you. And we're probably getting to the end of time anyway, but see if your method matches what I tell brides. But going to the toilet in your wedding dress on the day, what's your advice to brides with that? Because I tell them one thing.
Front ways.
Front ways, exactly.
Go front ways.
Isn't it amazing?
All the dresses behind you.
Yeah.
Go front ways.
Isn't it amazing that brides don't?
The least amount of resistance.
Exactly. It's amazing how many brides just don't think about that. Then you tell them, and it's just like, oh, magic.
Of course, you're like, what logic? And at the end of the day, it's quite nice to go for a wee on your own. You don't always have to have people in there holding everything up. But again, they talk about it all on Instagram. I know it makes great content and all the rest of it, but honestly, you've got the least amount of fabric at the front to just go in and straddle the toilet, because the dress is all behind you and you can wee in peace or just for 2 seconds, and your best friend doesn't need to be in there with you. And it works a treat for a fitted dress, a big dress, giant dress, all of it. It's definitely the way forward.
Snap then. That's exactly the same advice I give, which is just, again, it's just crazy. They don't even think about
I do tell all my brides in here. So, because they always say about different things like that, and I'm just like, don't forget to weave front way. And they're like, what? Honestly, you'll thank me for it. I tell you, you'll thank me for it.
There you go.
And also, and the other thing that is, you just need to enjoy it. It's the biggest thing. Is just enjoy it. Stop stressing out about everything. I know you'll think about all the tiny little things leading up to the day, but on the day, honestly, just go for it. And if something gets forgotten or something gets missed or anything, nobody at the wedding will know unless you tell them. So any problems, it's how you deal with it, not the fact it is a problem.
Vibe is a massive thing, and I find, like, as soon as people can feel that you're worrying, they'll worry. Especially like bridal prep and stuff like that. I always find that. It's a massive thing. Vibe. I had my first wedding at the weekend, and going back to like cleanliness of dresses and veils and stuff like that. Her bridesmaid, her sister was like, really, I'm gonna kill you. Like you've ruined it. Don't have to worry. And she was like absolutely fine. She's like, I don't care. Only because she was like, it's like a nice dress. And she's like, you got twigs in it. It's like, just don't worry.
It is what it is, but if you make a big deal of it, it becomes a big deal. And the thing is most people won't even notice anything.
Yeah.
And, you know, certainly in photos and stuff like that, there's different ways. Like, it's just like, honestly, it's just a case of go with the flow, because the energy that you have on that day, you can't go back and change it.
No.
You can't go back and you can't relive your day. So just embrace every minute of it and just love it, because, you know, you just, it's everything that you hope for, and maybe some things won't go completely to plan, but it doesn't matter. It's still reality, and as long as you've just embraced it and gone for it, it will be great. And it might be a story to be able to tell in years to time and have a little bit of a laugh over. But if you create a big drama around it, that's what it will become, and it's not what you've worked hard for, is it?
Paid the money for.
Exactly.
This has been an amazing chat. Thank you very much, Faye.
You're welcome.
Hope you've enjoyed it.
It's just good to chat. As you know, we're just two very passionate people who are in the industry. So to get to talk about it, we're always like, this is brilliant.
And even if someone's just learnt one thing, like, it's better than, well, I suppose not listen to it and not got anything from it. But just finish. You got like what's your biggest like piece of advice for brides in regards to like buying their wedding dresses? That's probably just, you probably already covered it all, to be fair. You've been very thorough. You've been very thorough.
The one thing I would say is it has to be 100% your choice.
Yeah.
So when brides say that they worry about ordering a dress way in advance, what if they don't like it anymore? What if something else comes out? If you have wholeheartedly loved your dress, not being slightly talked into it, I mean, 100% is your choice, not 80 yours, 20 your mum's or anything like that. 100% your choice. You won't change your mind. You will still love your dress because you have made that decision. So don't worry about it, because when you have found that, you will stand by it and you don't need to worry. And that's why it's so important that when you go into trying dresses on, you need to stay open-minded, but you need to make sure that it is 100% your choice, and then you won't have any concerns at all.
Perfect. Well, I'm glad I didn't get to get in the wedding dress myself today, because it wouldn't have felt me. It wouldn't have felt 100%.
Fair enough. I'll let you off. I do, however, think that it should definitely happen one day.
Okay. Maybe
one day for charity. We'll do some sort of charity event.
Should we do
You're
that?
going to have to get in. I think so. And then you can get yourself into a wedding dress.
I need to come to your studio, figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
I wouldn't be able to fit in my wife's one anyway. She's like half a foot smaller than me. So if you're interested.
Well, we just class it as a midi dress on you. That's fine.
Yeah, or an evening dress.
There we go.
Second dress.
There we go. See, all sorted. Sorted it.
Plenty of options.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Faye, and congratulations again on winning your recent award.
Thank you.
As I mentioned earlier, like London buses, I look forward to photographing the two brides that I've got coming up in your dresses, which would be very exciting.
Yes, that would be lovely. Are they both next year, or have we got one this year, one next year?
I think they're both next
year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, can't wait.
Yeah.
Yes. Both gorgeous, both different, which is lovely. So I look forward to seeing what you do.
That was one question I was going to ask earlier, but I was going to try and see if it were weaved in there. But do dresses photograph differently? Do you find that from when you get back?
Yes.
Bonus.
I do think they
bonus.
can. Yeah, I do think they can. But again, it's that whole thing. It's just down to how the bride is wearing it and if they're loving it, because you can't help but photograph it well if they're loving it. So do they photograph differently? Yes. I think you can lose a lot of detail on more finer detail dresses. So that does take an art for a photographer to be able to get right. because some dresses I look at and you go, oh, I know that that's got X, Y, and Z on it, and you look at the photos, you can't really see it.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's a shame that their editing style can bring that out, but sometimes it's just the way it is. But yeah, I think not enough to want to need a change, if that makes sense.
True. Perfect.
Yeah.
I get what you mean with the detail. Like you do have to make a conscious effort, even if it's maybe not your style of photography, to actually think, actually this dress has got a lot of detail. Let's just get a few quick snaps of it. Or when they're doing couples photos later in the day, just like make sure there's a few maybe like close-ups, even if it's like the ring or like his hands around it or whatever. It's just making that conscious effort to kind of bring that out, because ultimately that's what she's gone for as well. She's gone for something to show off and with a bit more detail, and you kind of want to reflect that in the photos. But yeah,
definitely, because like as you said, if you just do a few up close, when you can see it in the album and you know it's there, when you see the further distance photos, you know that it's there at that point because you've seen the finer details up close. So it almost helps bring that in. So yeah, but overall it's just the energy, isn't it, of anybody?
Definitely. Well, perfect. Thank you again. Going to keep going around in circles, but appreciate your time, and I look forward to capturing your stunning dresses, and hopefully pay another trip to your boutique, because it is stunning. And if any bride is recently engaged or they haven't thought about wedding planning yet, where can they find you, basically, Faye?
So I'm very simple to find. I try to be as easy as possible. So Lara Belle Bridal, you'll find my .com. You'll find the exact same tag on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and also TikTok.
You've had that free advertising behind you the whole time if you're watching on video as well. So if you haven't seen it for the last hour and 20, where's that time gone? Jesus. I never thought I'd talk about wedding dresses for this long, to be fair. But again, if you want to try and find Faye and her boutique, it is stunning. I love the colours of it. I love how even when I went in, I was like, you're not not overindulged, I'm not eating. You're not like overstimulated. That's the word I'm looking for. With like dresses everywhere, you've got a few select ones, and then you can go off and find what you're looking for elsewhere. But I love it. I love seeing when you try on the dresses as well, which is quite funny. I bet you love it too.
Why not?
I bet you love it too. But I really appreciate your time, and thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So I realised I deleted the outro to this episode, so I'm recording this a few weeks later and a few episode recordings later, but thank you so much to Faye from Lara Belle Bridal for coming on the show. Next week we've got Ollie from Enhanced Entertainment, who's going to be talking all things DJing, maybe a little bit about MCing throughout the day, and also photo booths. So really excited for that one. And then coming up soon, we've got our first couple coming on the show, so really look out for that one. But thank you very much for listening. We are getting there as a channel. It's very slow and steady, as this is very new. But if you want to help the channel at all, please do follow on Spotify, and make sure if you are watching on YouTube, you drop a subscribe and like. But yeah, I really appreciate everybody that is listening, and hopefully you are getting something, whether you are a bride or a wedding supplier. So thank you again to Faye for coming on the show today, and I'll see you in the next one.